there, my name is Toka Makanwan. Of course, this is the best show on television. I said so. Trending is the show which brings you everything and everyone trending on social media and of course the world at large. Trending is brought to you by Airtel, and my guest on today's show is very hilarious, very spontaneous, very mischievous and ridiculously funny. Now, when he opens up his mouth, I always have to ask myself, is he being serious right now? No. Do I have to laugh now? Or, I mean, I just never know what is going on. So get ready to literally laugh your socks off because we would be right back. Welcome back. Now, my guest is in the studio and we are ready to do this. Even trying to figure out what his name actually means is so funny to me. Ladies and gentlemen, I have Seyi Aletile, popularly known as Seyi Law. It's nice to finally have you here. I'm trying to keep a straight face. So teach me how to pronounce the last name again.
The last name?
Yeah.
It's Aletile.
That sounds like I'm speaking French or something.
Probably because I was given birth to in Gabon. I speak a little bit of French.
You do?
Comment ça
Okay,
va?
so but when I look at it, it means like, it sounds like Aletile, which in Yoruba means it's nighttime.
But actually it's an Ilaja name, and it's Aletile, which means it's not night yet, you know. But that is just the literal meaning. So, it means there is still hope for me because my end has not come.
Oh,
yes.
Right.
I've got lovely names. You love my name. Your meanings especially. Okay. Yeah, I have Oluwa Seyitan.
Which is your first name?
Yeah.
My name is better than yours. Do you know what mine is?
What is yours?
Omotoke.
Omotoke. Omotoke is just like saying a child is worth being careful,
yeah,
worth being pampered. But when you say Oluwa Seyitan, it means God has completed this. Right. As in, He has completed it.
Okay, so what other names do you have?
And then my other name is Lawrence, which means
Lawrence is an English name. What does Lawrence
it's an
mean?
English name. It means crowned with victory.
That's what Lawrence means?
Yes, it means crowned with victory.
So even the average great man that is called Lawrence is crowned with victory.
Yeah, that means everything I lay my hands to do
will work out for
will
you.
Actually be victorious. I'll always be victorious.
So how's that working out for you?
It's worked out for me all my life.
Okay, so we are going to go on a quick break. But before we do that, there's this new amazing segment called Sample Your Swag in honor of our sponsor. So tell us who you are wearing from head to toe.
Who I'm wearing?
I can see that's a Nike.
I love when people are on the red carpet and they just ask, what are you wearing?
What are you wearing?
Like, on my feet right now is Patrioti Bukuts. And
what
then you Google that on the internet and then you discover that it's a goat from Sierra Leone.
Okay, but I can guess. This is a Nike. Is this what you guys call Yeezo? So, Nike.
Unfortunately, I'm not one of those guys who really know what is trending and other stuff.
So what is the name of these trainers?
It's just Nike for me. I buy what I love. Okay.
And your pair of jeans is from where?
That is Zara.
Oh, that's nice. And you're wearing a polo shirt.
Yeah, it's Zara.
Where's that
also
from? Ooh, nice. We're wearing red. Look, can you see that? Because I've got a patch of red in my skirt.
I mean, like, there is a connection somewhere.
And Aletile for me too. We'll be right back. Because the show is called Trending, we can't go further without checking out what's actually trending today. Take a look.
Today on What's Trending, James Rodriguez volley named goal of the 2014 World Cup. That strike has now been voted as the goal of the tournament by over 4 million FIFA.com users. Also on What's Trending, the Domot trend. In promotion of his new single, musician Runtown started the Domot trend and loads of people immediately took to Instagram to post pictures of them in front of their Domots. Also on What's Trending, Dorobuchi video. The video for Maiden's massive hit record Dorobuchi was released on July 22nd, 2014 and the entire nation has been in a frenzy.
There's so much happening in the world today, isn't there?
Trust me.
Oh, gosh. Well, Seyi Law is still in the building and you've conquered the industry. I mean, the world of comedy. You're always in every lineup. Like, every show, where names are being called, I always had to hear your name. Like, what do you think sets you apart from the other guys?
Well, really, it's God. There is something I call the God factor in comedy. Yes. Yes. Don't mind me. I talk about God a lot.
I talk about God.
And that is because I know where I'm coming from and I know what He has done for me. And the truth is, in the comedy industry, for me, there is what we call the God factor.
I think it's in every industry, actually.
And that God factor is when you're on stage and you're performing, and then something comes to your mind, like what we call being spontaneous. And then that comes like in a split second, and then you say it, and it goes like, woof, and that gets the other, and everybody starts saying, wow. That is the God factor for me.
Oh,
the little things that make the difference.
Yeah.
You know? And talking about conquering the industry, saying, for me, I haven't really done anything yet in the industry.
Well, you've
because there's still a long way to go.
I agree, but what I'm just trying to say is you've actually become a household name. When it comes to comedy, and you're going to list at least in the top 10 comedians, Seyi will be there.
The great thing about that is the fact that I was able to learn a whole lot from all those who have been ahead of me in the industry.
How long have you been doing this?
This year will make it 7.
7 years.
By September, it will be 7 years.
Okay, so now that we've talked about where you're coming from, what else should we expect from you?
I'm working on something that has to do with the TV also.
Or having your own sitcom?
Not really a sitcom, but something that is going to be beneficial to everybody. It's like giving back to the society. Like I said, I've always loved medicine. And when I started comedy, I decided I was going to go back to school. But then I did, I had ND in computer science. And then I said, okay, let me do some professional courses and all that stuff. And then I did something on health and safety. And I also did something on project management. And I went to do something also on human resources. And I discovered that a lot of times we talk about health and safety at the workplace. And not so much priority are given to health and safety at home. And so the owner of the place where I did the training before doing the certification examination, we're trying to work on something whereby we bring that to the TV, getting people to understand how important their health. And also infusing some sort of jokes in it as well. Exactly. So it's going to be something like the doctors. Yeah. You know. Yeah. But then this time around, you have a comedian, you have a trainer, you know, and then you have a medical doctor. Wow. And then probably we have a celebrity guest to join us. Okay, that's absolutely wonderful. We at Trending, we always look out for the best interest in all our guests, and we think you're buzzworthy, which is why we invited you here. Thank you. Yeah, there was some crazy story I read one time where you decided to dye your beards gold. Was it red? I decided to make it as wide as it could be. You shaved it all up now. Well, I think my wife pushed me to this. Talking about your wife, I want to know how you guys met. Did you use comedy? Well, I think she's funny. My wife is very funny, very, very funny. Okay. Very, very funny. The first show that I performed as a professional comedian, that was in 2007 when I decided I was going to do comedy professionally. It was at a church called Global Impact Church, which is the church that I attend right now. I was invited to the church to perform. And then while I sat, I saw this beautiful lady just on the other row. And I was just looking at her, admiring her. And then they called me up to perform. And, you know, sometimes when you're on stage and you have interest in somebody, you want to really see if the person is really laughing. Because it was a church, I couldn't really pick on her. So I was just doing my stuff, and I was just watching her, and I saw the way she was laughing. And when we finished the program, I was about leaving the church. I saw her. But then, you know, when you're coming from somewhere and then you don't really have that confidence to walk up to a lady, it was a church in Surulere. I lived in Ebutemeta, I lived in Orile, you know. And then this lady is just Surulere, and I was like, hey. That's like the VI of that time, right? Chineke. How do I even talk to this lady? And you know what? You know, there is a way God orchestrates stuff. And then she was the one that walked up to me and said, wow, that was a wonderful performance. I love your confidence on stage. Ah! Oh, Jibi.
absolutely crazy. So that's how you got the...
And when she said that, I said, thank you very much. You know, we are just trying our best. How are you? Are you resident in this vicinity? Because your face is very frequent.
Oh my God, I absolutely hate when people do that. When people stop you and say, you look sort of familiar. No, like... No.
She don't like that.
I can punch someone in the face when you do that. They say, you look sort of similar. Can I meet you, please?
You have not heard some... I remember when I was in secondary school, and then I saw this lady. I would just close from school, another student from somewhere, and I was telling my friends, like, I can't talk to her. And, wait. And he said, go and approach her. And while the lady was just walking, I was just like... Excuse me, and then I didn't know it was one of those girls that are usually harsh. And she just thought, excuse me, what are you doing? And I said, excuse me, make her pass. Won't you leave the road and excuse me and let me go, you know?
Oh God. I should actually try that. Excuse you what? I'm going to blog about it. I tried. Excuse me what? What do you want? What do you want?
You know, when a lady comes to a guy like that with that aggression, sometimes it makes us draw back.
Okay. So what advice would you give to upcoming comedians?
Upcoming comedians, I always tell people that the you in you is the real you. When you discover the real you and you refine it, you make a unique you. And the reason why I always say that is because if you try to be like somebody, you become a second person to that person. You can learn from people, but don't try to be exactly like them. And because it worked for me. It worked for me. I understand the fatherly figure that Ali Baba brought to the industry. And I've tried as much as possible to help other people by playing a fatherly role to them in the industry.
Nice.
And then I understand the branding. When you talk about comedy and you talk about branding comedy, you cannot take that away from Basketman.
Sure.
You know, I learned that from him. Brand position.
The business end into
exactly.
Yeah.
And then when you talk about event packaging in the comedy industry, you cannot take that away from AY.
True. True
you
that.
know? And when you're talking about audibility, you can't take it away from Gordon's.
Right. Yeah,
you know?
true that.
And when you're talking about intelligence, you can't take it away from Bobby.
I wanted to say
if
Bobby.
You're talking about creativity, you can't take it away from Agodai. And if you're talking about description, being able, the descriptive power, you can't take it away from Gandoki. And so for me, taking all those people and learning those things from them has been able to help my career. And then I thought to myself, you have to do something differently. And that was how I started infusing Yoruba into comedy. And then I was able to also do the stammering stuff that actually went
that stammering stuff is actually
global.
funny as well.
Yeah.
Well, it's been really nice talking to you. Ladies and gentlemen, you have Seyi in the building. This interview is one of those interviews that I wasn't quite expecting what I got. You know what I mean? There's so much to him. There's so much, you know, the you inside of you, as he said. Well, we're going to go on a short break right now so I can catch my breath. And when we come back, it's time for Nasty Comments. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. Now, before we sign out, before we let Seyi go, he's got to read all the lovely messages that his fans and loved ones sent to him. They're bursting out with so much love for you. So much love, Seyi. You can't read it to yourself. You've got to read it out.
Okay. Multimillion, my ass. Does he even know what multimillion is? Multimillion starts from 160 million. So please explain to me how this plays. I'm saying this because of the... What does multi-million mean, actually?
He just scolded you. He said about...
The guy said 160 million.
160 million.
Is that so true?
That's not true.
Multi-million starts from 2 million.
So exactly. Once it's double, then
once
it's
multi. Double, it's multi. So, where?
Not 2 million now, about 10 upwards.
10 upwards.
Yeah, because then it's 11 million, 12. And that's double digits.
So, Seyi no get anything to do with money rather than open a bar so that our youth will continue to waste their life, eh? He better close it down, put up something more profitable to the nation's economy. I don't talk finish. Okay. Maybe this guy, Papa, go join money. More open something where they're more profitable. And, this was when I did the bear stuff. Okay. Somebody said it looks like a babalaho. Probably. Because AY once told me if I'm not a comedian, I'll probably be a native doctor.
I think so too.
Because I know how to do all those native doctor things.
Yeah, and you have this deep. Back to sender, back to sender, back to sender.
What actually happened that time was I was traveling with my wife and I was going to be out of the scene for about a month. Having about a whole month holiday. And so I decided, okay, do something crazy that will keep you in the mind of people while you're off the scene. And it worked for me. So
you dyed your beard.
Yes, and it worked for me. So I find it somewhat disturbing and annoying when men get their wife items that are inferior to or cheaper than what they get for themselves. Your wives are supposed to be your crown jewel. People are supposed to look at her and go like, wow, she's really been taken off by her man. Kudos to him. I think it's just great. Not flattered by his purchases. Okay, when I got my wife a car and I got myself another one, and mine was
bigger than your wife.
More expensive than my wife.
No, I'm eyeing you.
But you know the funny thing is because people don't actually understand that when you say you buy cars, you're not actually buying them just for yourself.
Yeah.
I drive the one that my wife drives, and she drives mine, and it goes on and on. So
this is part of the joke.
It's part of, you know, and what is it all about? I didn't go to the papers for people to write about the cars that I bought. People just picked it up from somewhere.
And they
started talking about it.
Okay.
And when they even wrote all the horrible prices that I bought the car, I was like, I came out to tell them that no, that wasn't the price that I bought it. So for me, on top of anybody, don't live no one saw.
I'm dancing for you. It's not easy.
I love nice. I can sing all these songs and make you dance.
Yeah, but I really feel funny with what the chanting you said and you called my name. Can you take it back?
Yeah. Because let me tell you one thing about me. I was given birth to in the C&S church, Cherubim and Seraphim. So if it's about song that will take you to heaven, I understand that aspect. And then I attended Deeper Life.
After.
So I understand what holiness is all about.
Man.
And then I attended CAC.
I was born in CAC.
I understand what prayer is all about, the efficacy of prayer. Yeah. And now I attend Global Impact Church, where they teach you about the principles and putting the principles together to work for you.
So you're well-grounded.
But I'm going to, yes. So I'm going to pray for you like a man from CAC.
That's the church I was born in. Okay. Amen.
Mo gbà ní àdúrà fún ẹ. Gbogbo ohun tó ṣe bí òtó nínú ayé ẹ. Ọlọ́run bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń fi ìpèsè kún.
Àmín.
Ṣé àmì kí àwọn ẹgbẹ́ ọ̀run mọ̀.
Àmín.
Àwọn áńgẹ́lì ọ̀run wá dìde fún ìrànlọ́wọ́ ẹ.
Àmín Jésù.
Wọ́n á ja ogun, wọ́n á dẹ̀ ṣẹ́ ogun fún ẹ ní orúkọ Jésù.
Àmín Jésù.
Wo òun ṣe trendy ni o. Ayé à trend.
Àmín Jésù.
Àwọn èèyàn á gbọ́ ìròyìn rẹ sí rere.
Àmín Jésù.
Ogun ọ̀run wá mú ìròyìn ẹ lọ sílé ayọ̀. Wo eléyìí tó kù díẹ̀ káàtó. Ẹnìkan gbàdúrà lọ́jọ́ kan. Ó ní Olúwa, efficient my deficiency with your sufficiency.
Amen.
Wo èyí tí ò tó Ọlọ́run á fi agbára tó tó àfikún.
Àmín Jésù.
Ayé adẹ̀ ní lọ síwájú.
Àmín Jésù.
Ìwà àtọkọ ẹ̀ lura yín pẹ́.
Àmín Jésù.
Má ṣàkọsọ́kọ ẹ o. Jẹ́ kó lo gbogbo ibi tó yẹ kó lò. Ọlọ́run á dẹ̀ bá yín ṣe.
This has been one of those shows. I absolutely love him. You know, that's the kind of... I was born in the CAC church, so I can totally relate.
You know, when they
so
shake... When they,
yeah, and then after CAC, I now go to MFM.
The part of CAC that I really... I'm always very careful about is when they ask you to hold your neighbor. I always tell people you have to be careful who you are holding. Because I was in church one time and they asked me to hold a man, and this man was actually a bricklayer. And the way he held me, you know the way bricklayers, the way they remove the, and it was, yes. But,
oh my God!
And when I was going home after the video, I was just.
Oh my God, you totally have to come back again. Thank you for coming. It's been
welcome.
Really, really awesome having you here on the show. Next up, let's check out our top 5 trending fashion trends. Yeah. We'll be right back.
At number 5 on the top 5 fashion trends is the floral trend. Stay chic with flowers this season. Brighten up your summer. Coming in at number 4, monochrome. I feel like black and white is a trend for all seasons. It never goes out of style. Monochrome is the ish. At number 3 on the top 5 fashion trends is radiant colors. When in doubt, think pink, blue, or even red velvet. Summer love is in the air, and whether your romance is in full bloom or you're just prepping for your first encounter, opt for an outfit that's flirty and fresh to suit those sweet occasions. Coming in at number 2, white. The season's go-to color is white. White is perfect for summer because of its pure and lightweight vibe. White is the ultimate neutral, so it is also the perfect complement for bolder hues. And at the number 1 spot on the top 5 fashion trends for summer, crops. Make sure you crop it like you mean it. Crop tops are definitely more fashionable this season. We can't seem to get tired of the exposed midriff.
You know what they say, every good thing obviously has to come to an end, and that's all we have for today's show. Massive shout out to Seyi. He was a good spot. I'd really like him to come back again. And also to you for tuning in. You are awesome-tastic. It's been so much fun. Remember to follow us on Twitter. We're at www.twitter.com/HipTv. You can check us out on Instagram. We are trending on HipTv. And you can also watch past episodes and future episodes as well online. Go to www.hiptv.tv. See you on the next trending. Stay fabulous. Goodbye.